Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to your weekly Wednesday racing here at the Gentlemen Sim Racing Club. Tonight we have on show again the BMW M Sport Cup class. They will be racing tonight at Oran Park, which is located southwest of Sydney in New South Wales. They've had some big names obviously around here throughout history, of your Moffats to your Mark Scaife, your Craig Lowndes to your Tanders, and we'll see who we can add to that list to tonight in their 40-minute race, which will be coming up shortly. Here's some information on screen. Myself, your commentator, Jordan Pianazzola, and the broadcaster, which will hopefully give me a little bit of words when I'm puffed out on my breath, will be Matt Schmidtke, and you can see we are at the 2.6 kilometre layout here tonight. The temperature is 22 degrees, and you see on your right it is nice clear conditions. Track temp is 22 degrees. There's no chance of rain here, and the wind's only at a very low 2 kilometres an hour. So we'll hopefully get the standings up as well in a moment and give you them a running down, and we can see here, as they can now come onto your screen, John Merritt is your championship leader coming into round 5 tonight. Adam Funslow is second and Dyson third. 376 points for Merritt there. He's 50 points odd ahead of Funslow. Dyson's coming in with a charge and plenty of wins under his belt coming into tonight's race. Guy Leach and Luke King round out your top 5 in the championship so far, with Christopher Hand, David Baz, Jeff Adams, Richard Brookfield and Dale Sharp as your top 10. And Sharpie will be hopping in my position later on, taking over the lead role for the V8 Supercar commentary when we head to Sebring, as I'm in a title fight for that one. So I definitely need to hop out as soon as I can later on. I'm about 60 odd points off in the championship there, but we've got the BMWs to worry about here and now at the moment. It's just about to go 7 p.m. for myself in Adelaide, obviously 7:30 for those on the east, and we will be getting ready for start in a moment. Hopefully we'll be able to pull up the grid positions for you here, and you can see Andrew Dyson is on pole, Ryan Jones alongside. Dyson, remember, is third in the standings coming into this, and Merritt's not here tonight. Dylan Walker third, Guy Leach fourth, Daniel McCrowan 5. He made his debut last week with a third place. Jeff Adams in 6th, Adam Funslow 7, Richard Brookfield 8, Richard King in 9, and Chris Henn in 10th on the 5th row of the grid. Tarek Alani and Adam Laves follow up the row behind, with Eduardo Zamora and Hilton Booth, James Katia and John Baldwin, the 16, Quinton de Klerk, Greg Heaney, Nathan Michael and Pete Matson, your 20. He's on the 10th row there. The 11th row is Thorn Weggett, Joe Baldwin. The 12th is Aaron Bryan and Steve Daniels. The 25th and 26th positions are by Philip Hambley and Jolan Hanson. 27, 28, Kevin Wakefield and Russell Gander. And 29th, Adam Raffi, and 30th is David Baz. Again, more than 30 drivers, or at least we do have 30 drivers here on the grid once again tonight in the BMW M Sport Cup, which is brought to you by the Gentlemen Sim Racing Club. See, a lot of our sponsors will get through: Disruptive Labs, Waste Options, Trophi.AI, and Pantech, and a few others. Drivers just setting in the nerves at the moment, getting ready for a start. The last drivers just just waiting for them to press the grid buttons on their screen. It's a 40-minute race here tonight at Oran Park. They will have one compulsory pit stop to do, so the fuel tanks will not get them to the end. They are not required to take tyres at the pit stop. They are only required to take fuel. We'll have to figure out how much fuel that will be once we get later in the race, and we'll also find out how many laps there will be, as I haven't done those calculations yet. But the lights are up as the drivers look to them, and we look to them in the booth here. 40 minutes ahead, and we are a go here at Oran Park, this wonderful circuit southwest of Sydney that I said earlier on. And it is Dyson immediately from pole position into the hot shot and leading us through this first kink and off into the first hard braking zone, the left hand, and you see Ryan Jones holding on to the second place that he had. Dylan Walker getting up into third, Leach behind, McCrowan fifth, couple of drivers behind having their own incident. We'll hopefully get a replay of that a little bit later on as we get through the lap. You can see someone spinning around in the background. They get out of harm's way and roll backwards off the track. So doesn't seem too sketchy out there at the moment. You see a black flag for James Katia. And it's most likely a slowdown or maybe even a jump start. And Thorn, Wegger, Raff and Baz all out at the moment. Down at the bottom at lap one. A little bit messy to begin. Nice and clean towards the end as everyone hops into their train, their carriage on the train, sorry. And they will be trying to hunt down Andrew Dyson here and see if they can go dice it out with him out front. But Ryan Jones, the closest competitor at the moment in second place. Can he hold on to Dyson? He is on the trot, and Andrew Dyson he's on the trot of a win last weekend at Spa. And he had also a double win at Road America the weekend before, and then his debut in the category this season was only at round 2 at Okayama, and he had a first and a fourth place there. So the bloke has had 4 wins out of his 5 races so far, and I'm sure he's going to be on for it again tonight. Now, alongside me in the booth and doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes work, so we do want to say thank you immediately to Matt Schmidtke for all of that, but also just want to get a hello and a welcome to everyone from you.
Good evening, Jordan. Good evening, everyone. How is it? Good race tonight we should have. Oran Park's always a good track to go to. Dyson, by the sounds of it, I haven't been keeping up with this series too much, but it sounds like Dyson's back to his old ways of just winning everything you put him in.
Yeah, Dyson, he's not shy of leading a race here at GSRC. He's won multiple divisions here, I believe, and of course, in nearly any category that we get to see Dyson put his work in, he's always finding himself in the top. As we see Jones now go for the move, can he hold it? He's up the inside. It's not going to be enough to get past Dyson, the Victorian. He's going to hold it up the inside, heading into the right-hander. Jones, not going to be enough. He's under pressure here from Walker. Walker gives a little touch on the right rear. Not going to be enough to make any serious contact, which is what we want. We don't want any serious contact around here. It's a very tight place, and if something does happen, it will most likely go heavily wrong. You can see the track map on your top right and just how stacked it is with the 30-odd drivers around here, all in that line, all in that Congo line. And we'll see how they'll sort themselves out and if it really space out. You can see in the background there's a little bit of space between some of the drivers, but the top 4 are all bumper to bumper at the moment. Funslow in 5th place, just also trying to hold on. Adams, King, Hen, Zamora and Brookfield, your top 10. You can see a penalty here for car 254, Quinton and de Klerk in Racing Room with car 9, Joe Baldwin on lap number 1. So that would have been one of the incidents that happened in the background that we didn't quite catch. We'll see it now. So de Klerk, unfortunately, just getting into the 2 drivers, and wow, a little bit of a double bump on the black driver and the black car, which I believe will be
That would
Baldwin.
be Joe, yes.
Yes. Okay, so that was Baldwin. He got a double smacking around from Quinton, and unfortunately that set him back. He nearly actually, you know, came back straight forward from it, but unfortunately that second whack just completely ruined it all for him. We come back on board towards the front of the group here at Oran Park. Nearly up to 5 minutes at the moment. Remember, it is a 40-minute race. And see if I can actually try and figure out some of the calculations on how many laps. Now, obviously, the normal commentator that's in here, Zach Gaben, he's just an absolute nut with his numbers, and we call him the Zaculator, and he can figure this out quickly. I've got to go to ChatGPT to go and figure this one out, as we see Richard King get the fastest lap of the race so far. So that's the early pace for the drivers to be looking around those low 13s and maybe the high 12s, sorry, as he just does a 1:12.9 around Oran Park here in the BMW. Now we can see Chris Henn just as we move back. He was in the back end of the top 10 here. He's currently in 6th place in the championship standings. He's not been able to crack into the top 5. He's had a couple of 6th places. Oh, Brian's gone around in the Adidas BMW. That's a very dodgy situation to be stuck. He holds the brakes well, staying out of harm's way, reverses off the racing line. Well done there for Aaron Bryant to stay out of harm's way. And I might have spoken a little bit too quickly as Hansen nearly runs into the back of him there, Schmidtke.
Yep, that was a close one. I thought he had got away with it, but yeah, just not quite enough time for him to get up to race pace with Hansen coming in. He had to get on the brakes pretty hard there.
Yeah, nearly causing a big collision there, but was lucky to get away with it. Hopefully he's not going to get pinned by race control for that one. Obviously Hansen could, you know, be within his right to report that one, but being low in the field here and out of the 20s, they're probably just trying to want to work their way back up, hopefully into the field, and hopefully that more battles like this can happen as Guy Leach figures his way past Henn. Actually, I think Henn was maybe trying to find a way past, and Leach was able to hold on in that one, because Henn, I think, is still in 8th place, and Zamora and Brookfield in behind.
Yep.
Sorry, you go, Matt.
Yeah, there's not a lot of moving and shaking in the field. The highest I can see is +9 for Russell Gander, and then a +7 and a +5, and other than that, it's really only a few 1s, 2s and 3s, and then -17. I'm not sure what happened to Daniel McCrowan, but he clearly has not had a good start to his race.
And that's really unfortunate to see, because he was on the back of a 3rd place at Spa last week on his debut in the BMW class here on Wednesdays. So for him to be all the way down here outside the top 20 is definitely not where Daniel's gonna want to be. He's got the pace to be much higher up, and obviously you said he's down 17 positions here, so he was obviously what's that, 5th place I think he's qualified, if my maths is correct. I failed maths every year of high school, so I think that's 5th. But yeah, obviously unfortunate to see McCrowan all the way down here, and Brookfield's actually got a meatball, so I wonder if we're going to be able to see also what's happened with that one. So here's the incident with McCrowan.
Oh, he's just 3 wide, doesn't work, and he's been turned around.
No, 3 wide into that corner is never going to work. Turn 3, it's very tight down there. A lot of these corners are all tight around here. Obviously this, it's an old circuit which no longer exists, which is unfortunate to see. I remember, I think it was just after we'd done the Formula V race here a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember who it was, but someone chimed in the general chat for the Formula Vs and the Discord, saying that they used to love coming here as a kid, watching, you know, Lowndes or Scaife or whomever it was race around, and now he just goes to Woolies, which is, you know, in replacement of the track, as we see McCrowan dive into the pits here for his one and only compulsory pit stop, and he is the first driver to take their stop tonight. So we'll be able to see what the at least maybe ballpark is for pit stop times, and actually Brookfield's also in, but he has a meatball to fix, so he will potentially sit a little longer in pit lane as we wait for McCrowan to come back out. So his stop is 5.3 in the box, so 5.38 seconds for the 510 car. We'll see if now maybe putting himself into clean air as well will be able to help him because he's got that pace. Obviously, he was 5th in qualifying, so he's got that pace to get up. We'll see now if he can get any further up with the space in front of him. He's got, what's this, 16 seconds to the next car in front of him, which is James Katia. As we hop in, oh, there's a spin just in the final corner for one of the that's Greg Heaney there in the Whiskey Business racing car. So unfortunately, he's gone around at the final corner. That's turn 12 there, but he was lucky to keep it out of the wall. And it seems like there's no damage on that car, so he can keep going back again and hopefully keep it clean from here on out. So he's out in front of him. Brian's just gone wide entering turn 1 here, and Heaney will get the move at turn 1. And he'll at least redeem one position from that mistake which he just made over at the final corner. But is Brian going to fight this back at 3? Brian is going to fight this back at 3. He's not going to let his mistake hold him back, and is still side by side with Heaney here. Heaney's not going to let out on that one, but unfortunately he does have to as we climb up to the bridge. We go around turn 6 now and head towards 7 and 8. Now, I have done the calculations. Oh, we've just had a moment here as we see Brian just had to get on the brakes there. That was, who was that that's gone around? Was that Wakefield? That might have been Wakefield that's gone around. I can see his time dropping on the ladder on the left, and it was Kevin Wakefield that's gone around. And Aaron Bryan's got a penalty here with, a no further action for his moment with Greg Heaney, but Wakefield had a moment there, and that checked up the whole field outside the top 20, where Heaney, Hansen, and Katia are all around. What happened here with Wakefield as we go on to the replay? Just getting the bump on entry, and that's thrown the car all out of comfortability, and luckily he's just kept it off the racer line. He held the brakes, which is all right, but nearly held it a little bit too much to park it on the race line. But he's now back going in 23rd position, which is unfortunate because, well, actually, he has still climbed a couple of positions in this race, but it's unfortunate because obviously the amount of positions he has just lost there, Schmidtke.
Yeah, it was a bit of an unfortunate incident. It looks like he just kind of got on those bumps on the left-hand side of the track there and it unsettled the car and turned him around.
Yeah, and hopefully he's just entering the corner again. I was going to say, hopefully he doesn't do it again. It does actually seem quite bumpy there on the edge of the circuit there for the Formula Vs. I've not really noticed that in some of the other cars I've driven around here, but I've probably only really driven the Formula Vs around here. I don't really race anything else, as we see some of the other cars dive into the pits there on the left-hand side of the screen. Very short entry, so you got to make sure the other drivers behind are sort of able to read your car language that you're going into the pits, because they could easily get into your rear bumper. As I think there's been some moments here where there's been a driving into the rear bumper of Katia into Heaney there at turn 1, but Heaney's able to hold on as Hansen slots in between the two of them. This little battle at for what's this 19th position still continues on between these couple of cars. Heaney's just really got a lot of action going on in his mirror as he actually nearly made a moment himself over at turn 1 there, but able to hold on at the moment over the bridge. Hansen now with Katia behind. Hansen looks to have a little bit of front damage on his car. That just seems a little bit dented in as well, so he'll just be slightly suffering from that, but luckily it's not really a high speed, sort of top speed circuit here for Oran Park. Heaney's a little bit wide in the final corner. I might give Hansen a run. No, so Heaney's going into the pits. You can see that language immediately, but Hansen's now under pressure here from Katia, who's going to look to the outside. Heaney's actually got a black flag. Did he enter the pits wrong there? He might have gone in too fast as Katia's gone around the outside of Hansen at turn 1. Great move there by Katia in the Injectors Online Racing BMW as he gets past Hansen. He can try and look forward. He's got 11.5 seconds in front of him to the next car, but Heaney is in the pits and with that black flag. I wonder if that was a mistake caused on entry, as he's already gotten rid of that one. So doesn't say. So it must have just been a drive-through there, actually, because there was no pit stop time. Not sure if you're noticing anything there, Schmidt.
Yeah, I don't see anything. Let's have a look here on board. Is he speeding? I can't see his speed on the. Oh, there on the left-hand side. Oh, this. Oh, this is the wrong lap. Oh, I clicked the wrong one, that's why. It's just occasionally, if they go too far to the right there, it still registers them having entered pits, but they haven't actually.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an issue that can happen around Oran Park here. Sorry, if you just don't take that entry, or sometimes you'll sit over this line and then you'll come back actually onto the race line and you can get pinned for a false entry. But it looks like he's done everything correct there. But I think he just went and done a drive-through because, again, there was no actual pit stop time for Mr. Heaney at the Whiskey Business Racing BMW. We'll see here, and just continuing driving very slowly, making his way to the end. Doesn't look like he's going to stop here.
No, yeah. I wonder what happened.
No.
Maybe he hit the incident point limit. But
I'm going to guess at the incident limit. And what is that actually fixed here at with the BMW class?
Just give me a second.
I'm going to guess the standard 16 or 17 that we run. I can't. My brain is fading me right now.
Yes, 16, and then
16.
every 7 after that.
Yes, that's right. I just never try and ever worry about hitting incident limits myself. So that's why I try and that's why I can't really remember it. I'm always trying to aim for the 0 incidents or the very low incidents because I know you can get some bonus points for that. You can get up to 2 bonus points for even just 0 incidents during your race. We see Dylan Walker in 2nd place. They've not been able to keep up with Dyson out the front. You can see he's been able to pull that gap. He's just gone through on the screen there, and that is a 1.8 second gap out to Andrew Dyson. So he looks like he is on par to go get another win here. And here is Dylan Walker's move, which was only done recently on Ryan Jones, and this is up at turn 1. He flies that in through the kink and gets it hard on the brakes, a little bit deep, too deep for what he would like, and that gives Jones the run back on the left. But Jones will be put in a position here where he's not going to be able to do much with it, and he will just slot in behind in the right-hander as Walker was immediately on the defense in the following corner. He didn't want to continue that battle on in the lap, and you don't want to be really side by side as you go through the bridge and through 7 and 8. It's look, you can maybe get away with it in some of these other cars in iRacing, but the BMWs are probably just a little bit too big to go side by side through this section here. But that group in behind Dyson, they've all still held on to each other. Walker, Jones, Funslow, and Adams, your top 5. There's a little bit of a gap to Hen. He's made his way up a couple of spots into 6th place. Kings down in 7th now. Leach down to 8th. Zamora at 9, and Tarek Alani up into the back end of the top 10. Russell Gander so far is probably the biggest mover up the field. He's up 10 positions in 17th at the moment. And the biggest faller in the field, it looks to be Richard Brookfield, who is coming on my SDK screen as 1 lap down and 18 positions down from where he started. Otherwise, McCrowan is down 16. But also another big climber would be Steve Daniels in 16th. He's up 7 positions. But King at the moment on screen, he's up 2 spots in 7th place. So he's obviously started 9th in the subpar racing BMW. His teammates just a couple of positions up the road. It's Jeff Adams in P5. As the subpars will be trying to get some good results here at Oran Park. There's Jeff Adams just trying to find where he is in the championship. He's 8th place, and so far this season he's had 2 9ths, a 12th, an 8th DNF, and a 7th place. So he's in the top 5 at the moment, on par for his best result of the season. A top 5 would be an absolutely great result here for Jeff Adams, and finally getting into the swing of things. I know he's definitely got some pace in these cars and can normally find himself up in those higher positions, but I think he's just not really had luck completely on his side this season. But still, a 7th place at Spa was not a bad result for him, but obviously the DNF at Road America really would have not done any good favours for him in the championship here. He's only half a second behind Funslow in front of him, and Funslow is 2nd place. He's obviously 56 points off of Merritt in the championship as well, but Merritt's not here tonight, so we'll have to see how much that can close up. I think at least at this rate, Funslow will be the championship leader after tonight's round, but obviously we'll be able to run all of those numbers later on, and that will obviously come after we do all the V8 Supercar racing as well out at Sebring. But we're just going a bit over halfway here in the BMW M Sport Cup, and we're on lap 18. We're looking at about doing what is it, because I did run the numbers, we're looking at about doing 33 laps, I believe, as we see it's this Jones just just trying to work his way with the lap cars, and that was unfortunate for him. I was just getting in one of the lap cars there, getting in the way. That is Pete Matson in behind. You can see the headlight flashing from Funslow as well. So Matson just needs to be careful here. But if I was Matson, I'd be just straight hopping out of the way. These guys are in a top 5 battle here, and I think Funslow will really not be enjoying seeing the lap car in front of him and that gap opening up to Jones in front of him. Is this going to be a potentially serious moment in this race? No, Funslow gets that done nice and quick, and Adams, I think, is going to follow through swiftly. Through that chicane's always a little bit rough to go side by side and anything, but they make it work. Adams will be up in the final corner, but that gap has opened up between all of the drivers in the top 5 positions. Adams now 1.1 seconds off the group. Funslow is just about a second off of Jones, and Jones also a second off of Walker. So the lap car of Matson has broken up the top 5 battle here as we enter the second half of this race. A lot of the drivers still need to take their 1 compulsory pit stop, and we can see, at least on my right screen, I can see what's this, the top 20 are all yet to take a pit stop. You can see some of the pit stop times on the left-hand side of your screen there. McCrowan 5.3, Baldwin 4.8, Matson 7.3, Brookfield 5.5, Bryan 6.7, Wakefield 6 seconds in the box. So a little bit of difference as well for them in the stop times. And especially once the rest of the field, the rest of the 20 out here to go, once they go do their pit stop times, we'll see a little bit more on what the average is as we're just about to turn around onto lap number 20 here. And Dyson's lead has opened up to over 2 seconds here. As the SDK, my screen, every here and then I'm looking at it, and this is sort of what we were talking about a moment ago, Schmidtke, how on the you can get caught out by penalty on the entry, because on the timing screen I keep saying it looks like these drivers have got diving into the pits, but they're clearly staying out on track.
Yeah, well, my SDK screen, I can see it just says person entered pits, person left pits, and it's like 20 or 30 seconds for everyone, because they just stay right as long as possible, and they just duck out the last minute to avoid that wall there. So it registers them as thinking they've entered the pits, but they haven't actually gone fully in yet.
Yeah, so the drivers have to be careful of that one, and hope they're not going to get caught out by just any of the iRacing antics and how it calculates it, because if you get done for the false entry, that will severely take you out of this race. I think they normally come at about a 40-second penalty from iRacing. We see McCrowan get a move done, and he is now into 20th position as he gets his way past Joel and Hansen at turn 1. So McCrowan's up into the 20. He's the first driver on track to take a pit stop. He was first to take a pit stop here tonight, and he's also the leader of all of the pit stop runners. He's at 5.3 seconds for that stop, as he now has Hansen behind. And you can see even just the best lap time difference between those drivers. There was a 13 it's a 13 flat for McCrowan and a 14.4 for Hansen. So McCrowan will clearly open up this gap just in the next couple of laps as he tries to hunt down the other drivers. They are on, at least you can also look at least I can see what their last lap times were. McCrowan done a 13.7, where Hambley and Daniels in front. They're on a 13.6. Actually, Daniels just done a 13.7, where Hambley's just done a 15. What is McCrowan going to do here? Mind you, this was on a lap where he has just passed Hansen. He's just done a 13.5, so only half a second off his best lap of the race. So he's got some pace under him compared to some of the other drivers in front, especially Hambley, where he's about a second and a half quicker than Hambley. But I reckon that was probably caught on by a little bit of a mistake. As McCrowan will continue to try and work his way through the field here as we arrive back to the top three on screen with Jones. Again, no pit stops for any of these guys up here. None of the top 19 have done it, but Jones just holding on to third at the moment. He's dropped out of Dylan Walker's grasp as well. Walker is also 2 seconds up the road. He's also 2.5 off of Dyson out front, but Jones just hasn't quite been able to keep up that pace. His last lap was a 13.3. Walker and Dyson in front on a 12.9 and a 12.8. So Jones just a couple of tenths slower, and at the moment he's at least he's in his own rhythm. The guys behind are on a 13.1, so they're also 2 tenths quicker. Funslow and Adams. Adams just trying to hold on. You can see he's about a second behind the group, but Funslow 6 tenths off here at the moment. He'll be hoping to try and get a move soon enough, but also just sitting in this position here, he'll be saving fuel compared to Jones, who's got the clean air in front of him. He's got to break that that hole in the air, and Funslow behind will be taking the I've lost my word here that I wanted to say. He'll be taking that for a win for himself, because that the hole being punched in front of him will be saving him fuel. As we've seen a couple of the cars also do in the background do some pit stops, and some of them now ending out a lap down behind. So we can see Gander's done a stop, Baldwin, Brookfield, Hambley, Bryan, Matson and Wakefield. It seems to be, at least for their numbers, some of them are up to, well actually Baldwin was 4.8 in the box, so he's the quickest so far. So you can nearly get into the 4 seconds, well you can get into the 4 seconds for the pit stop. So we'll have to see what the front guys will do, and if they're maybe taking the margin lap on fuel or not, because those couple of leaders might play that half a second or not. As we see Josh Zeno give us a comment here. Gosh, iRacing is looking beautiful tonight, still punching decent fields in the M2s, and it definitely is, Josh. The M2s again here with a stacked field. It's slightly just below the 30, at least in this race here, but every other race so far has been at least 30 to 35. So the numbers are staying steady here in the BMWs, which is great to see, as we see a mistake here at turn 1 into the gravel trap, nearly into the tyre wall, and keeping it out was Guy Leach. That was a close goal and a half at turn 1. Leachy way too deep at turn 1 and nearly finding the tyres right on the outside of the track, but he keeps it out of the wall, and he's now down in 7th place. He's still yet to take a pit stop, but the tyres will definitely be dirty after that one, but luckily that car is still clean after that moment there, Schmicky. That was a big off.
Yep, that certainly was. I just saw his gap to, I think it was Richard King, getting really close, and I'm like, oh, well, let's see what's happening here, and I just managed to catch it. I'm going to see if we can pull up a replay to get a better look at what happened, to see how he ended up in that situation.
I'm sure we will be able to get a better look at that in a moment. We'll just obviously hold on for you to do all of the background work that you do, which we're all appreciative of here. As we see Leachy now dive into the pits. That was nearly a dive into the wall into the pits. As we see the mistake here at turn 1. What happened here is we're on board with Leach just too wide through the kink to begin with. And did he catch one of the other cars? Did he catch a subpar car? I thought I seen in the mirror one of the subpar cars also sideways, but he just went way too deep on entry, got the right tyres on that dirt, and while so hard on with the left foot on the brakes, just could not get that stopped, and around he went off nearly into the tyres. And there's the subpar car in front. Did he hit them? No. Okay, so it was
close.
just
yeah.
yes, it was just how it looked in the mirror. I thought I seen the subpar car still continuing on, but it was just that reflection in the mirror and how it caught me off guard. But I'm glad we did just get to review that and double check. Zalichi's still in the pits, where he's actually at 36 seconds so far and still counting. So I wonder if there was a penalty for Mr. Leach to serve. I wonder if it was a 40-second penalty. 46 seconds here, so I reckon that he's copped a 40-second penalty, and I reckon that was for on entry. I'm not sure if you're able to run back that replay of when he entered into the pits here, Matt, but Leach, he dove in with some speed there, and I reckon he went in a little bit too quick and had to serve a 40-second penalty. You see Handley also have a black flag, and here's the replay of Leach diving into the pits here. So you'll see him dive in a moment. I'll just be quiet as we hear him. Oh, very quick, and even doing some gear shifting after the cone. So I think he was definitely caught out by the earliness of the line. And when you have to turn the pit limiter on, what do you think of that one there, Matt?
Yeah, I reckon I was trying to watch the speedo, and I reckon he was probably still in the 60s when he hit the line. So that's probably about where you're going to get pinged. I think the limit is 50, so 60 is a bit too fast there.
So that's unfortunate for Leach. A 46-second stop in the box. He's now down into 22nd position, 18 positions down from his start position, and he will be out of this race contention-wise. He's still going on in the race, but he is out contention-wise for any good result here tonight. So a couple of other movers. We can see Chris Henn has dived into the pits. 5.5 for Mr. Henn. He's in 10th place. What's Josh saying here? I reckon he would know how to stop in the bay rather than do 2 drive-throughs trying to clear it. Don't know who would try that. Yeah, I mean, look, doing drive-throughs is never a fun thing for us. What are we saying here, Thorne? These guys have continued to be very behaved. I know, and it's unfortunate because I love seeing action in racing, and but these guys are keeping it very steady here, which is look, at least on their side of things, it's exactly what they want to see. But sometimes, at least in the broadcast booth, I wouldn't mind a little bit of action to commentate on, because at least gives me some storyline to also add to it all. As we watch Jones here in 3rd place, continuing on for his bronze position, as he's 1.8 seconds behind, but would love a little bit more of spiciness. Look, but the drivers are keeping it very clean. I've said this all season so far on our Wednesday nights here, that the BMWs, the racing is good, but the cleanliness by the drivers is so great. The gentlemanly, the gentleman word of gentleman sim racing really much applies. You have scared them from the RC booth. Look, we could probably be a little bit more harsh on our penalties, don't we think? I think that'll probably scare them off more, to be honest. But Thorne, I mean, look, if you're feeling lonely in the RC booth, you can always hop in here in the commentary booth and give us some words. We see Dyson, our race leader on screen is nearly at the 5 seconds ahead of Dylan Walker. He's got the fastest lap of the race, and that's some bonus points for him if he can hold on to that at the end. It's 12.7 for himself. Walker's also on a 12.7. He was quicker than Dyson on the last lap of 12.9 versus 13.1. But Dyson's just trying to find his way through some traffic here. As we come, I'd say we're going over the bridge and we swapped to the camera under the bridge. That really threw me off there for a moment. I was like, what's just happened here? But it was just the camera angle getting turned around. It is Leachy here now on screen, trying to work his way back through the field. You can see one of the other drivers that's tried to work his way through is McCrone, and he's up into 12th as we see Cameron Dakin say, go on, Thorn, let us hear that beautiful voice. And yeah, why not, Thorn? Come on, you can do it. We know you can. I've heard you apply your trade in here when Zach's been in here. But apparently, maybe I've scared you off from hitting your own rear bumper a few times, because I've done that to Thorn in the GT3s a few times, and I feel so bad for doing that. But I think I've scared off Thorn actually, Cameron. He probably just doesn't really want to talk to me. So we can see Leachy here trying to find his way through on Baldwin. Not going to happen around the outside at turn 1. Baldwin's going to go a little bit defensive, running down towards 3. So he couldn't get it done around turns 1 and 2, sorry. 1 being the kink. But just tucking in for the rest of the lap, and he'll try and do it again over at turn 1. We'll see if we can hold on with that battle, as Baldwin's just got a little bit of a gap to Brookfield in front of him. So if Leach can get right up to Baldwin here, at least there is a gap in front for him to slot that car into. As you can see, a warning for Hambley for blocking Eduardo Zamora. So blocking obviously at this time of at this point of the race is only a handful of laps left. Everyone's started to everyone's pretty much run all of their pit stops now as well.
Yep.
Wow, Thorn, don't leave our boy hanging like that. Sorry, I've just got a little bit of a coughing throat here. That's why I keep just going quiet for like 2 seconds here, Matt.
Oh, there's some cars off there. Who was that? I think one of them was... Oh, no, Joe's in front of us. Yeah, I'm not sure. I just caught it out the corner of my eye.
Gander and Nathan Michael, I can see they've had off track on SDK. So Michael and Gander have gone off through 1 and entering 2 on the right-hand side as you picked that one up there for us, Schmidtke. We'll get a replay of that one in a moment. You can see here now. So what's happened? This is right on the exit of pits as well.
Oh, that's a big one.
Oh, that is a heavy hit there. The Whiskey Business Racing car straight out of the pits, and the Northwind car parking it right in front of camera for us to see. And wow, that is a really broken rear end of a BMW. And look, it's put a smile on my face because there's been a crash, but wow, that's a heavy hit. That is not really what you want to see. Oh, just exiting the pits right onto the race line. Nothing that the Northwind car of Gander could do in that one. Unfortunately, it looks like Nathan Michael actually got away relatively scot-free from that one. But the other beam, clearly no rear end on it. And actually, Michael's in the pits, so I take back what I just said.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one. It's a bit of a poor exit because you come right out slow onto the racing line there where everyone wants to get out wide to get through turn 2. Have to see what race control thinks of that one, though it's not a lot either car really could have done, so wait and see.
And just about as when Thorn was potentially going to come into the commentary booth, he's now got to be busy in the RC booth dealing with that. We are on lap 32 here into the final minute of racing here. We should be on for lap 33 in a moment. As we can see Dyson coming around. I don't think we went white flag, but if so, he's on the trot of a couple of wins here already in the BMW class. We're going white flag now. One more lap here in the BMW M Sport Cup at the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. You can see Disruptive Labs as a sponsorship, merch.tg rsci.com, as well as Waste Options as a supporters here at GSRC. But Andrew Dyson on top. The DPR Racing BMW is looking for another win here. He's had 4 wins so far in the 5 races he has done this season. It was a first place straight out on debut in his first heat this season at Okayama. The second heat at Okayama was a 4th, and then from there it has been a win, win, and win. He was the round winner at Road America. He was the round winner at Spa last week, and he is on par to go and do it again. Just a couple of more corners here at Oran Park Raceway for Andrew Dyson as he comes through turn number 12, and he'll accelerate out to the checkered flag and the line, and it is another win in the BMW for Andrew Dyson, on top here with the DPR Racing BMW. Out of the final corner as well, Ryan Jones will just hold on for second place, a second and a half ahead of Adam Funslow. Dylan Walker will come 4th. Adam's in 5th, so he gets his best result of the season as well. He was worked his way up into 6th place there, as you can see Richard King in 7th place. A couple of guys still potentially racing to the line. That was Adam Laves just holding back Zamora for 8th and 9th as McCrowan. He worked his way back up into the top 10, so a great drive for McCrowan to come back through the field after really dropping down outside the 20, even the 25 I think he was at one point. So McCrowan worked his way back up into the top 10. Tarek Alani 11th, Hilton both in 12th place here. You can see Katia now across the line 13th, still battling to the line out of the final corner. This group here is from is the battle for 15th as they go over the line. And there is Baldwin who wins that group, just 2 tenths ahead of Declare. Hang on, no, that's a double Baldwin on my screen here, so something's a little bit wrong.
No, there's John and Joey in this race. So
oh, no, okay, sorry. I was just getting confused because I seen Jay Baldwin and Jay Baldwin. All right, I didn't even clock that. So John Baldwin gets 14th, De Klerk 15th, then it's Joey Tracker Baldwin in 16th, Leach 17, Brookfield 18, Daniels 19, Hanson 20. So Schmidtke, they kept it clean for what, 38 minutes basically in that race, right up until the end when it just slightly kicked off there. What did you think of the 40 minutes we had then?
Yeah, like you said, a little bit of chaos at the start there, and then pretty calm for most of the race until that big shunt coming out of the pits there. But yeah, some clean racing all around. I was surprised how late they managed to go with the pit stop. I thought 26 or 27, maybe 28 was going to be the longest they'd go, but they managed to squeeze a few extra laps out of it.
Yeah, they really kept like I was again surprised like you. I didn't think they would have gone as far in the race with that one full tank immediately from lights out. We've normally seen in the past they normally only make it or it's about that 7-8 minutes left that they normally do that pit stop, but they're able to do it a lot later tonight. And hopefully we'll get some of the words from the drivers shortly, as we'll be going over to the supercars as well a little bit later on. They will be at Sebring International Raceway. They up for just for a regular round. I am in a championship battle in that one, so the sooner we can dial this one up here and I can get into the practice over there, which will be always appreciated for me. But here's some of the replay on the start for the background and the results on screen for you. It is Dyson again with another win, and it is a DPR Racing 1-2. I've only just noticed that one, so congratulations to the DPR Racing team with their 1-2 here tonight in the BMW class, and it was Funzalo getting the bronze position here tonight. He gets third place, Walker 4 and Adams 5, and again that was Adams' best result of the season so far. Hen, he's had a couple of sixth places as well, so he's just matched his best result. Still unable to get into the top 5 for Chris, but I'm sure he'll get there at some point, as we've just had the top 2 drivers from tonight's 40-minute race hop into the booth, and they are both of the drivers from DPR Racing. So both a huge congratulations to the two of you. We'll start with Ryan Jones if we can. Now, Ryan, you both of you guys are able to qualify on the front row to begin with, so that was great to start with. You were able to hold on in the early stages to Dyson, able to hold on from the group behind you in the early stages, and then once Andrew was able to just get away, it seemed like you were a little bit more under pressure at that point. You dropped back a position or two, but then obviously worked it up back towards the end, and got yourself back into P2 for the result at the end. I think I've virtually just explained it, but how did that race go for you from your point?
No, that's good. I think that's still a shorter question than Zach spits at us, so I'll give you credit there. Yeah, obviously Quali was good. I thought I might pinch Daiso's pole on the last lap of Quali, but just 10th short, and yeah, just, I don't know, we were both fuel saving the whole race, trying to shorten up our pit stop as much as we could. Daiso's obviously, I guess he's pretty good at this whole fuel saving thing. I'll give him credit for that. So I was able to hang on early, but then, I don't know, I think the rhythm just got disrupted a little bit, and then yeah, as soon as I fell out of that little window, I he was able to pull away from me, and then, yeah, obviously Dylan and Funzo got up to my bumper as well. They weren't fuel saving, at least not as much as I was, so, I mean, felt like a battle on the track, but at the same time, I was fairly confident I had them both covered in the lane, and I think looking back I did, which is good, and good result for the team.
Now, I also haven't really seen you too much here in the BMWs. I've just seen on the standings, you've only done one round prior to this, and that was at Road America. You had a 3rd place and a 2nd place there. So at least you've kept, you know, your staying in the top 3 on every heat you've done so far. But are we going to see you potentially more throughout the rest of the season here in the BMWs?
I don't know. I don't really plan out what I go racing. I just sort of roll up and hope for the best with minimal preparation, much to Daiso's dismay usually. So yeah, I'll hop in. I'm usually away for a few series throughout the week, but Wednesday night actually pretty clear for me now for the next few weeks. So yeah, I'll probably jump in. If Daiso's racing, it's always fun racing with someone and talking crap and chat, and then by the end of the race becoming depressed because he's beaten me for the 736th time this season.
I know that feeling exactly, when you're in there with your mates and you're like, oh yeah, I got you, dude, and then just at some point you just see your mate just start opening up that gap every lap. It just goes more and more and more. You're just like, why do I drive? Why do I do this?
There was actually one moment in that race where I did get alongside him. I thought, I've got you, and then he drove away from me. I was like, oh, see ya.
Yep, and I thought you were potentially going to be able to keep it going, but unfortunately, yeah, once Dyson was like, oh, at least from me, it seemed like once Andrew realised that, you were like, oh, he wants to give me a bite at this, I'm just going to put my foot down now, and he just started driving away from you at that point. But you nearly had him in that moment, and it would have been good to see if you were able to actually clear him, because then he would have had to deal with the other guys behind. But yeah, like you said, you've got maybe some Wednesdays a little bit more free now, so hopefully we can see you at some of the next rounds. We're just past the halfway point. We've got Long Beach, Lime Rock, Suzuka, Canadian Motorsport, and Charlotte Roval still coming up. So hopefully we'll be able to see you at one of them, and hopefully we'll also be able to see you stay in just in the top 3 positions as well. I do want to sort of keep this relatively short because I've got Supercars to go to, and I'm 3rd in the standings. But before I then move off to Andrew, who do you want to thank tonight, Ryan?
It's a great question. I'm going to leave that to Daiso. I'm going to thank High Performance Media because Daiso usually forgets, and you know they are the all-important sponsor to me. We've got plenty of other great sponsors. I can't find the list, so Daiso will handle those. But yeah, just you've always put on the broadcast, and always fun to go back and it's what you always say, and it's good to send off to a few people and say, look, I can be a race car driver too.
Look, I love that feeling as well when I look back at the broadcast and get to see me on it and being spoken about. I remember even just as a little kid at the go-kart track, I used to love that feeling. I think it's still the same now. Doesn't matter sort of what your position is in racing. I think it's always you know, great fun to know that your race was just broadcasted. But no, it was another great result there for you tonight, Ryan. Hopefully we'll see you more throughout the rest of the season, as you can always put a top 3 result on for us. And hopefully, if we see you next time, hopefully you can actually get the move done on Dyson.
Thanks. 3rd time lucky.
3rd time lucky. Well, they always say 3rd time's a charm, so it'll come around, I bet you, yeah, at some point. But no, well done again to you tonight, Ryan.
Cheers, boys.
Alrighty, on to the winner, Andrew Dyson then. And sort of was, you know, referencing it during the talk then with Ryan, but he sort of had one chance at on you, and that was at turn 2 and heading down to turn 3. You put it on pole here once again, and you once again just walked away from it and had a win. Obviously, one of your big championship rivals, John Merritt, wasn't here tonight, but you still had obviously a fast guy up your clacker a lot of the night in Ryan and even Dylan Walker in 3rd place. But it seems like you just once again easy control here in the BMWs. Is it as easy as it looks, Andrew?
No, definitely not. I mean, you've got to get out there, and I think I said last week, you've got to go out there and put down a good qualifying lap that can get you in a great spot and get you in the best position to make the most of opportunity to win the race. So yeah, that's pretty much what I tried to do, was just get to the lead with qualifying and then try and stay there. Nearly gave it away a few times there. You may not have noticed, but I sort of nearly threw it off the road into turn 1 once or twice. Just going a little bit too deep, trying to be a little more economical than I needed to be maybe. But yeah, managed to hang on, so it was good.
Now, would you say Oran Park is a track position type of circuit where it's the qualifying that matters, and especially like the BMWs here, and how close they race? Do you think it's all about the track position?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, in these cars, no matter what it is, really, it's so difficult to pass in. I remember back racing V8 days. For some reason, I used to do that stuff and thought it was fun. I mean, crazy, right? But anyway, we did that, and I remember, I was never really in a position to win those races, and I was always in like a battle pack, say like 10, 15 sort of thing, where it's really close battling, and there was always a lot to be gained in pit stop time, or rather having a shorter pit stop. So driving economically was a big one when you're in all those packs, and when you come to a track like this and you're driving so closely like that, that sort of stuff comes back to you, and you're really got to try and draw from it to make the pit stop time as short as you can and give yourself the best result. And I think, yeah, those sorts of things help.
I think it does help, and I think you put it all into perfection tonight, and made it work in your favour again. Now, this is 4 wins on the trot for you. Are you going to go and do the double next Wednesday at Long Beach?
Oh, we'll see how we go, man. This HK Super Royal BMW has been pretty slick lately. Yeah, you see what I did there? But yeah, we'll see how we go, man. I'll do the best we can. Yeah,
well, Long Beach as well. We recently had this. That was with the IndyCars at Long Beach. Sorry, my V8 Supercar session just opened up and it just threw me completely off of all of my screens, which I was looking at then. and now I've just forgotten what I was saying. Oh, sorry, Long Beach. Yes. That's it's a street circuit. It's obviously another sort of track position type of circuit. There's definitely more passing opportunities there than Oran Park, but I think qualifying will again be a big part to play. Are you going to do any practices leading into that one?
No. I think in the GSRC spirit, especially over in DPR land, practice is banned. We only practice in the race servers because that's in the spirit of the club. So that's how we like to go about it. And that's what we'll be doing. But I think Long Beach is there's plenty of passing opportunities there, just as much as any other track, I reckon. So the fact that it's got walls all around it doesn't really account for much, other than you can hit them really hard. So, but man, I'm happy to let you go and do your thing. Obviously, you got to go focus on the supercar stuff, and we've got a bit of help here in the booth. So I'll make a quick shout out to all our sponos over at DPR, like Ryan said I should do, over at Staffed, for doing all the things they do over at Staffed, and thanks to McBay for bringing those guys on. And we've got Lamprey Transport, DPR.GG, not that they count for much with the fixed up race tonight. Who else we got? Professional Haters Incorporated, and big shout out to High Performance Media, who are doing all the best videos, all the best photos, all the best social media. Get around those guys, they'll help you out.
Love it.
There you go. Seemed like Ryan enjoyed that one after you had to read off the list.
And thank you guys too. So thanks for putting all this on.
Thank you. But I was gonna say, thanks for sort of taking over there and trying to speed things up. Obviously, I do have my supercars to get to, and I appreciate you in trying to give me some time. It's 17 minutes left of qualifying, and I've never put that supercar around Sebring. So, like you said, in GSRC spirit, you do your practice in your session, and that's what I'm about to go do now. So. Again, another great result for you here tonight, Andrew. And it's lovely to see you back out here. Hopefully we can have a little bit more battling for you at Long Beach next weekend as you try and go for the double. But again, another great result for you tonight.
Oh, I think we will do, man. If it's anything like tonight, I mean, it was a battle, so it'll be a battle again tomorrow night. But good luck with your race, man, and cheers again.
Cheers. Thank you. Alrighty, I'll close this out on my end then. I'll leave you in the hands of Dale Sharp and Matt Schmidt. Dale's just found his way into the booth a few minutes ago, so thank you for then taking over, Dale, and then giving the supercars a watch as they go around the great and the bumpy and the spectacular Sebring International Raceway. That's what a lot of people say about it. It's not what I say about it. I'm not a big fan of that track, but nonetheless, I've got to go racing there tonight. And I think I'll leave it there. Just about to go 8 p.m. here for myself in Adelaide. But yeah, thanks Matt for putting the broadcast on and running all your stuff in the background.
No worries. I think on that note we might jump to a short break whilst we switch over to the Supercar server, and Dale and I will meet everyone in the broadcast there in a little while.
Alrighty. We will, that'll be that then. Thank you everyone for watching the BMWs here tonight at Oran Park. Andrew Dyson was your winner, ahead of Ryan Jones and Dylan Walker in third. Funslow was fourth, and Adams in fifth. That is that. We'll see you here a little bit later in the GSRC broadcast room with the supercars around Sebring.
Good evening and welcome back to the platforms of the Gentlemen Sim Racing Club, and we are gathered in Florida at Sebring International Raceway for the Supercars for the main game for tonight's racing action, as the boys are just wrapping up qualifying now and will be gridding up in a not too distant future. So just check out, we've got a track temperature of 31 degrees. It doesn't look like we've got any rain on the way, so dry conditions throughout. I'm sure the drivers will be pleased about that. The Sebring circuit can be a daunting task at the best of times, especially that sunset curve with all the bumps. Certainly going to be looking forward to watching how the field navigates that tonight, as you see Barney waving the checkered flag as the guys are setting their final times, and we will have the starting order coming up with for you very shortly.
Yes. Good evening, Dale. Welcome to the broadcast, and I believe it's actually 31 degrees air temperature, and the track is a toasty 56 degrees. So there is going to be some burning rubber tonight, I think.
Yeah, that's tyre wear is going to be a big issue tonight. Those temps, and there's going to be a severe lack of grip. I am joined by Matt Schmidtke tonight. We're both off the bench tonight, having to go at V8 with Matt filling in for Andrew, and our very own Zach Cabin with our prior engagement tonight. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun.
Yep, I'm sure it will be. We should be getting on the grid any time now. I think, no, yeah, a couple cars are still technically finishing qualifying, a couple cars sitting there in the pit lane.
And we have a very healthy grid of over 30 cars. It looks like 34, maybe 35 cars taking the grid tonight. So Sebring, some drivers love it, some drivers hate it, but it looks like we've got some that have turned out tonight to take the reins of the Supercar around Sebring International Raceway. We are just seconds away now. We should have the grid coming up for you.
Yep, should be.
There
it is. Here we go.
Here we go. And I can tell you, the field's got a problem because James Scott is on pole and by quite some margin over his teammate Will Buchanan. Third, Ryan Jones. Fourth, Adam Hayne. Third row, we've got Alex Zickus, Sean Rigby. Seventh, we've got the first of our new drivers, unseated drivers, Daniel McCrowan, followed by Dylan Walker, Ryan Barber from 9, and Cooper Barr from 10. As we go over the page, we've got Jordan Wilcox, he's the first of the Development Series drivers, followed by Jamie Fleming, Chase McMillan, Adam Maverick, Jack Dent, Wade Sheedy, Ross Armour, Ryan Nielsen, Drew Collins, and Daniel Snedden from 20th position. 21, we've got Jeff Adams. 22, Jackson Furlong. David 3, David Uni. 24, Andy Barber. 25, Mitch Wood. 26, Jake Partridge. 27, Hayden Watson. 28, Matt Carroll. 29, Richard King. 30, Jordan Pianazzola, who has made the grid. And rounding out the field, we've got 31, Adam Bryan. 32, Jason Timon. 33, Pete Matson. 34, Callum Maxwell. And I think that might be the grid for us.
Yes, that does round out the grid, and I'm just looking at some of these times, and that is a big spread. Jordan, unfortunately, doesn't appear to have qualified super well, thanks to having been here for most of the practice and qualifying session, but we'll see how well he can work his way through the field. But yeah, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds difference down the back here.
Yeah, and over half a second between James Scott and Will Buchanan starting next to him, so I think they'll be keen to try and get a jump on James Scott. That's the warning signal that's been fired out. We can see the lights about to go green anytime, and away they go. And we see what kind of jump they get. And it looks like James Scott and Will Buchanan going away pretty evenly. They're going to go side by side into turn one. But James Scott, he's got the jump. He's got the line. He's got a bit wide out of turn one, which is going to invite Will Buchanan. He's going to have a little sniff. See if he sends it up the inside. Not quite. He decides to send it, tuck in behind, but he will be well aware he does not want to let James Scott have it all his own way and disappear. So we look back through the grid. It looks like we've got through pretty clear. Oh, I know.
There is someone backwards over there. I'm trying to find who it is.
We've got a bit of action at the back of the field. We'll try and pick up who that is. Jack Dan.
Yes, if I bring up the tower
the start of the race has not gone too well for him. We might be able to
bring up a
pick up what happened there, but yeah, it looked like a pretty good start, but it looks like it's got so we have a look here.
Ooh, there's that. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, and another one on the way through. That's a lot of cars wanting the same bit of racetrack, and that one will take a little bit to pick out. But anyway, Jack's still out there. He's still going to salvage whatever result he can get. So we're just having a look at James Scott now. He's out in front. Will Buchanan is hanging with him. He's not letting James Scott get too far away at this point. And I'm sure those guys are already thinking about tyres, they're already thinking about fuel. You see Ryan Jones, he's having a good strong run there in third. He's having a good night overall after his run in the BMWs, and he's jumping straight into the V8 Supercar and he's straight on pace, and that takes a lot to jump out of a, such a small underpowered car into a beast like this. But Ryan Jones, he's done the adjustment very well, and he's hanging with Will Buchanan and James Scott. He is sitting there and he's only try to look at the gap, just over a second behind James Scott himself. So we see how much he's working the wheel, how much he's using the curbs, really pushing from the word get-go. We know they haven't got a lot of grip. 56 track temperature is what they're dealing with at the moment. So looking after those tyres, and like you said, Matt, we already are seeing quite a spread from sort of fourth, fifth on back. We're seeing the field really start to spread out.
Yes, they are spreading out, and we must have been looking at the qualifying track temperatures, because you were actually right, and it's dropped down to 32 for the race. It must be, it's 7:30 in the evening, so yeah, the track has cooled off, so they won't be as worried about tyres, but they would have been burning them up in qualifying. It's going to be a nice sunset race, so we'll have to see what Sunset Corner looks like when it gets a bit darker.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's where it gets its name, and it's always a daunting corner at the best of times, but with those times, like you said, by the end of the race, we might be looking at exactly why they call it Sunset Corner. But yeah, you're right, I think I might have been looking at the numbers before they clicked over from qualifying to the race. Rookie mistake. But we're following Alex Seekers here, who is he is on the back of Sean Rigby, and that is for position for the elite, and probably the closest battle we've got on track at the moment, as these guys come to complete lap 2. We've got a 40-minute race. I'm not even going to try and employ the exaculator and work it out laps at this point, but we might have a better idea as we get closer to the end. As we see, he's having a look at Sean Rigby. We'll follow this one now, because this is the only battle we've got on track, and Zikas, it looks like he's got it done here into turn 3 on the inside. Be interesting to see if he can sort of skip away now and start to catch some of those, as you can see already, he's starting to pull a gap on Rigby, and he ended out after Dylan Walker. He's got about another 1.8 seconds up the road till he gets there. We have a look further back. Looks like there's 2 cars. I'm trying to pick it out. Wade Chitty, he is under attack by Ryan Nelson. And it's a three-car battle now. And Wade Chitty looks like he's going to lose 2 at once there. Very competitive little pack we got there as we have a look. I think we've got Adam Maverick lining up to have a go. He's back in the Dev class. Now this is also for the lead of the Dev class. We've got Jordan Wilcox just ahead of Wade Chitty leading the Dev class, and Adam Maverick in 3rd. So this is always that interesting battle within the race within a race to keep an eye on there. Wade Chitty's actually in the elite split, so he's just found himself in an awkward position there. He's got all these Dev guys battling for their own podium, and he's in the middle of it. We see Adam Maverick having a look now, trying to get up the inside. He doesn't want that those 2 ahead get any further away. As we see him come into the sunset curve now, we'll see whether Adam's got that move done. He has. I'm wondering whether Wade Chitty's got a problem here, because he just seems to be dropping further back. I don't know whether he's picked up some damage or maybe had an incident on the first lap, but he definitely seems to be struggling to get the handle of it, and the pack are certainly lining up. As we look at Adam Maverick now under massive pressure there from Daniel Snedden, I think it was. Yeah, Daniel Snedden up there, and he's joining this battle as well. So he's having a look under Wade Chitty, and he's trying to hang with Adam Lavis, and we've got quite a competitive little battle pack here for position.
Yeah, like you said, Wade, he doesn't seem to have any pace here. He seems to be dropping quite a ways down the field. He's lost 3 or 4 positions just as we've been watching him. And I know someone in the comments asked about Fleming, so we'll go back and have a look at him. I can see a crash registered, so I'm not sure what it is, but we'll take a look.
We'll go back and have a little replay, see what's happening with Fleming. Yeah, I think Fleming came into the round leading the dev point, and it's just a little bit too hard on the brake.
Yeah.
Locked the rears, round she went, and and that's probably why geez, that was close with the rejoin, wasn't it? But yeah, not having a good night, Jamie Fleming, but he'd want to be getting out there and consolidating points.
Yeah.
As we pick up back on Wade Chitty now, this seems to have settled down a little bit. Like I said, Wade Chitty, we're used to seeing him up battling with the elite guys, so you never know whether maybe they struggle with the setup or not, but he's found himself in an awkward position. We've got Daniel Snedden right behind him. Now, this isn't and he's getting right up behind him. He doesn't really seem interested in hanging behind Wade Chitty. It's an awkward position to be because you are in 2 different splits. You are in 2 different races, but you know what Daniel can see. He can see Adam Maverick up in the distance, disappearing, and that is Daniel sitting in 3rd in Dev split with the Wilcox and Adam Lavis disappearing up the distance. So he doesn't want to sit behind Wade Chitty here and start losing more ground on those guys above. So he'll be pushing pretty hard to get this move done. How did Hayne overtake Jones? And that raises a good point, Matt. We have seen a change of position for 3rd, and there's quite a gap there. So I'm wondering, Jones, he's just had a moment. Yep. Yeah,
little lock up right front, I think.
It just shows you how easy it is to do in these cars, especially around Sebring. These cars aren't easy to stop at the best of times, and we've got a nice bumpy nice bumpy brake zones at Sebring, which and those little lockups. It happens with the best of them. And Adam Haynes just said, thank you very much. Take the podium position. And Ryan Jones, he'll be ruining that mistake, I'm sure, but he'll be settling back in and he'll be thinking race strategy. He's got car 186, got a 15-second penalty for a late move, contact with car 510 on lap 4. And we're looking here now, I'm thinking good chance Daniel Sneddon has got that move done on Wade Sheedy, maybe. Oh no, we're back to live now, and Daniel Sneddon's still trying to get it done. And we can see ahead, the car he's trying to chase and not let get too far ahead. And he's going to have a big dive at Sunset Curve. Bit of a slide job move, but that's all good. He's got he's got it done. He's got his car ahead of Wade, and he can now hopefully not have to defend too much and set sail. Like I said, it's a bit of a weird dynamic. He finds himself in there. Generally, you don't want to be battling, but yeah, Daniel's he's got sitting in third position in dev split, and yeah, he's taking down the 2 leaders. We've got Wade Sheedy now. He would be sitting in 9, 10, 11th in the elite split. We have got Andy Barber, Ross Armour, and Drew Collins further back in elite split, but yeah, I don't think he'll be enjoying the start of the race that he's had so far, Matty.
No, it's definitely not gone what I would think according to plan, but we'll have to, if he jumps in the booth, we'll have to ask him. We've got quite a feisty pack here.
Yeah, we have got a feisty pack, and this is all for position. We've got we've got Ryan Nielsen. He's battling hold on to 9th. You've got Wilcox, Barnes, McCrollan. There's a whole lot in there and wanting to have a go at this, and this is all condensed up and got very competitive very quickly. It happens that fast around here, Matt, and especially with these supercars, there's a lot. And we see one car getting sideways. Cooper Barnes. Just shows how hard. We've got 2 nice looking retro liveries there, battling hard, and that is driving a supercar in a nutshell. That is, you just try and give it that little bit more throttle, going that little bit deeper, just trying to keep that position, and it goes very bad very quickly, and the cars certainly let you know about it. And this little battle pack, it's going in ebbs and flows, and it'll take someone at the front. We'll see battle for position. I do believe that is Ryan Barber under attack from Ryan Nielsen. Nielsen looks like he has got it done, and that'll be Jordan Wilcox coming through as well. And this is not done. They're going to battle it out, and I think the inside line is going to prevail here, and that is trying to pick up what drive that is. He's lost a few spots all at once there.
So Barber is in the white and black car, and Barnes is the shell car. So
yeah. So Barber is the one. He's under heavy attack here, not to lose further spots. As we got, looks like Barnes having a go at him. So we've got Wilcox has got himself ahead of all that, and he's leading the death split. That's very important because. Oh, and we've got contact. That's all right. As it starts to heat up, Ryan Barber is still under attack by Cooper Barnes, and it looks like Daniel Crowan's had it all go wrong.
Oh,
and there
just
it
missed
is.
that. Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a lot going on with the rejoin. But I hate to say it, Matt. We could kind of see that one coming, couldn't we? It was playing out, and it was going to manifest itself some way, and it did there. We've gone back and having a look at a replay. This would be Ryan Barber and just, Yeah, we'll just leave that one to race control, and then we got a little bit of a gets a little bit awkward there. So we'll leave that one to race control. We have got someone in race control tonight, but it's unfortunate to see those battles end that way. I mean, those guys are doing very well there. Very entertaining battles to watch, and it's still going on. We've got from 12th back to about 17th here, and you can throw a blanket over the whole lot of them. We got Ryan Barber sitting there in 13th with McMillan further up. Daniel Sneddon, he's in there behind Ryan Barber. So if we're looking back at the Dev split, we've got Wilcox leading. He's got Cooper Barnes between him and Adam Maverick, and that'll be very important. He'll be trying to keep that kind of gap. And then we got McMillan in third in Dev split with Ryan Barber and then Daniel Sneddon. As we see, we have more action going on down there, and it's all the same drivers. We've got Daniel Sneddon involved. We've got, I think, Ryan Barber's involved. David Uni's involved. Now, he was in the thick of that all along as well. You see him trying to rejoin and try and consolidate any kind of position he can. And straight away, he's under attack by Jackson Surfong. And, of course, you're going to see that as an opportunity. You've seen a car rejoin, not quite up to speed, and you're going to want to try to attack. That is your opportunity. And Jackson Surfong is seeing it as exactly that and trying to get it done, but David Uni seems to have calmed the nerves and getting on with the job now at this point, and he has eased some of that pressure he had. Further back, we have got Jackson Fursong, Hayden Watson, Ross Armour, and all arguing for position as we head down to the sunset curve. We'll keep an eye on this. They are going 3 wide into the sunset curve. Someone is going to yield. I don't know who it's going to be. And they get down there and they have navigated it. Some high, some low. Ross Armour right in the middle of that. And we'll see how it all plays out when they get to the exit here. This is all for position, and this is great stuff by all those guys. And this is not done. This is going to continue into turn 1. We have Ross Armour. Is he on the back of Jamie Fleming?
Yep.
Yeah, just trying to pick up the position there.
And
on the back of Jamie Fleming, with Hayden Watson and Drew Collins. So a few little battles within a battle, races within a race happening here. I think something might have happened up ahead because all the dead split guys have all moved up a spot. So
I think there's been quite a few pit stops in this last lap. Let's have a look here.
You're right. So
there you go.
You are right. We are a minute and a half away from halfway. So I dare say we are very much inside the pit stop window. As we say, tyre deg is going to be very big around here. You'll see a lot of drivers probably coming to pit lane, so you'll probably see a big flurry of drivers come to pit lane, basically try and split the race up. But again, it depends where you are, who you're battling. They're watching Ross Armour battle for 15th with that still is with Fleming and
should it be Watson and Collins, I believe?
Oh, Watson and Collins.
They're the ones behind, yes.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. This style of racing, this sort of track, as we see someone trying to rejoin there, that is someone going out
that was
very
Fleming.
wide. That was Fleming up ahead. So, yeah, these guys now would be analysing where they're running, how they're going, how the car is feeling, and again, you'll see some people try and stay out longer, so you have fresh tyres at the end. And yeah, Dan Sneddon, he's been trying very hard, and he's just found himself battling for it everywhere he's been. I believe he may have been to pit lane, Matt Schmidtke.
Yes,
Yeah,
lap 8.
so, and that's what I mean. Some drivers have been in enough of a battle pack and enough of a war, they've decided they're going to pit, get out of it, come out, get in some fresh air, and try and run some lap times and try and pop out ahead of them. Generally the idea, and that's what we're going to have to keep an eye on. That's what we're going to have to, see how that all plays out. As we don't mean to ignore the leaders, but there's not a lot happening up there. We've got James Scott has got a 5.5 second advantage over Will Buchanan from Adam Hayne, who Adam Hayne does have Ryan Jones over the back of him. Now, these guys have not pitted yet. These guys are still going. We've just surpassed halfway and we're on lap 10, so I suspect, Matt Schmidtke, we're probably looking at around 19, maybe 20 laps in this race.
Yeah, that's I haven't done any calculations, but it's a bit, I would probably say 19. It's a bit over a 2 minute, maybe 18, a bit over a 2 minute lap, and it's a 40-minute race, so that's about 20, but a little bit less than 20 because of the few extra seconds.
We'll have to keep an eye on Barney of that one. We don't have the Zaculator that's usually used in full effect. These guys have both stayed out. All these top guys are all still to pit. We've got Sean Rigby there in 6th position. He's right behind Alec Seekers. Now, these guys have been close for a while. And when you know you're coming up to pit and you're coming up to battle, I guess you have a decision to make. Do you get in there and battle, or do you ride this one out? With the track temperatures we saw, we know those tyres aren't going to be anything like what you started on. Anyone still out there will be screaming to be having fresh tyres on anytime they can. But the usual thing, if you're not doing too bad, you're managing to keep your pace, you might want to wait as long as you can to get them on so they're fresher at the end. But I'm not sure what the fuel, how much fuel they can get. I have not joined the session to sort of pick up on those numbers, but I dare say we're going to see a big flurry of the rest of the field. Have a look there. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So 12, 13 guys have pitted. About that many yet to pit, but I suspect we'll see them all come in very, very soon.
Yeah, I would think with the amount of power you got here and the amount of rear tyre wear you can get, you would probably want to split the race up fairly evenly, but maybe go a bit longer to try and get a bit of a tyre advantage. Looks like everyone's in the box for 11 to 12 seconds, which I'm not sure this generation of Supercar. I think the fueling is slightly slower, but the old one was about 3 3/4 litres a second, so they're probably putting in 20 litres maybe. That might be too much. I'm just trying to think. If it's slower with these cars, it might only be 10 or 15 litres, which, so I reckon 30 minutes will be as far as I'll get, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, to see these guys move up into the top 5 as someone else has peeled off into pit lane. So we've got a few guys staying out there. James got all the top 6, 7 cars have all stayed out. Well, in fact, top
Ryan
7,
Jones.
top 17, top 17 on track at the moment have all stayed out. We've got a few cars dropping down the order, but I believe they are coming to pit lane now, so we're starting to see that play out now. To see Sean Rigby, looks like he seems pretty content just to follow Alex Vickers to pit lane. I think they'd be both aware of their fuel numbers and their situation. They would know that they're both coming to pit lane very shortly, and probably just a little bit of conserving your race gear, conserving a little bit of fuel. Like you say, with those stop times, as we see, Ryan Jones is He is in attack mode for position up behind Dylan Walker. This is for position in the lead. I don't believe these guys have pitted yet, but it's on. Oh, there's a bit of contact.
Yep.
There is a bit of contact between the two of them. So Dylan Walker is not going to make it easy for Ryan Jones. And we know Ryan Jones is not going to just roll over on this one. And he's going to be back for another go. He's got the lights flashing.
He's not happy about that. He's got the lights flashing.
Yeah. And he very much signaled his intention. He would very much like to get past you, Mr. Walker. And I think you're right. I think these guys may have just been to pit lane. As you see Ryan Jones having a look up the inside. Is there going to be more panel touching? They go side by side, and it's a drag race down the back straight into Sunset Curve here. Who is going to win this battle between Walker and Jones? I think Jones has got it. Walker might be trying a wide line here and just try and get a run on the straight, and we might see this rage again into turn one. But Ryan Jones looks like he's got that done. Going to be interesting. We're going to have to wait until all the pit stops have played out. The timing order's going haywire as those pit stop strategies all start to play out. But yeah, Ryan Jones had to really work for that one there for Dylan Walker. Walker was not going to make it easy for him, and Jones he'll be glad he got that one done, and he'll be trying to set his sights further ahead. Again, like I said, the next car in his split is Will Buchanan, but I believe Buchanan has now come to pit lane. The top 3-4 cars have not stopped. They are yet to stop.
Yes.
That being James Scott, Sean Rigby, Ryan Nielsen, and Jordan Wilcox. So Will Buchanan is the first of the cars. We pick up him in now. He is currently first in the order of cars that have pitted. James Scott did have about 6 seconds on him, so it's a bit of a daunting task, Matt Schmidtke, to be closing that gap. Looks like we see James Scott coming to pit lane now, and I highly suspect we're going to see James Scott complete his pit stop and come out into his own little world that where everyone else is living in, and and have full control of this race. But we'll see how this plays out. Will Buchanan did pit 1 lap earlier. He's done a lap on fresher tyres. So he would be looking to try and get an undercut there. 6 seconds would have been a very big ask, but I reckon this might be a little bit closer. I reckon Will Buchanan, he's not going to come out ahead, I don't think.
No, it's going to be, it's not too far.
But he has closed the gap. He has closed the gap. He has come out, and he is currently now just over 2 seconds, I think, from James Scott. So in that pit stop cycle, Will Buchanan has reeled James Scott in a chunk, at least 3 seconds in that cycle, which we'll just wait for the timing to update, but that looks about right, because he's right there.
Yeah,
he's got a couple of cars in between him. These 2 cars are still yet to pit, I believe, Ryan Nielsen and Jordan Wilcox. So Will won't want to get held up by them. He will be close enough to James Scott that he can see the back of that car, and he would be locked in, and he would not be wanting to see this. He would not be wanting to lose any time. It's the risk you take. I mean, no one's doing anything wrong, but yeah, Will Buchanan's not going to want to be hanging around waiting for these guys to pit. He can see that gap ahead. It's already starting to balloon out to about 3 seconds now to James Scott. And he's seeing about the, maybe as close as he was going to get there. So he might be able to tuck in behind Ryan Nielsen here. You would suspect we are on lap 14. Those tyres have got to be screaming for a new set. Those fuel tanks of Ryan Nielsen, John Wilcox, have got to be sitting there bare empty. But we see Ryan will be Cannon. We see him get the job done now, as we do see those cars pull into pit lane, and they cross the line, and yeah, Will Buchanan's got what looks to be about 3.8, 3.9 seconds, so still quite a gap. James Scott would still like to see that. He's still got it kind of all his own way. He's got a nice healthy gap, but he too would notice that it's closed up considerably. As you see Adam Hayne under big attack from Dylan Walker, I believe. And this is for 5th and 6th. This is Walker and Hayne both arguing over 4th position. They are both pitted, and we are good to go to the end. And this little battle has just come alive. Now, we saw Walker just recently in a battle with Ryan Jones. So I'd say Adam Hayne just made his pit stop and found himself right where poor old Dylan Walker is, and finds himself in war again. So we can look at the comments there. Yeah, he has been fighting with the elite guys tonight. As we see this battle now, no two guys are either wanting to give an inch. As we see, Haynes got the inside line, and he gets the job done on Walker. But these two have swapped positions about 3 times this lap. We know Walker is a very quick driver. We know he would not be willing to roll over and give up, and I would expect to see him have another go at Hayne here. We're in the final 10 minutes of the race. We've got about 8.5 minutes left, which, doing my quick math, may take us to the 20th lap. It'll be 19 or 20. We'll keep an eye on that. So we're looking at about 4 or 5 laps to go. Hayne seems like he has got some pace. Unfortunately, he got another 4.3 seconds up the road to Ryan Jones, who Ryan Jones seems to have consolidated the podium position. He'll be very happy about that. He didn't have a good run of it last week. He was definitely in podium contention last week, and then he just found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it all unraveled for him very quickly. None of his own doing, really, Ryan Jones. So he would be glad to be having a strong run, sitting up there in podium position. He got Will Buchanan another 11 seconds up the road, but I don't think he'll be too worried about that. To pick up, this is a battle at the back of the top 10. I believe we've got
not for position,
Wilcox.
no. Yes.
No, it's not. It's Wilcox and Nilsson. Wilcox has got the lead of the dev split, but Nilsson looks like he's very keen to get past and try and hunt down that 7th spot in the elite split and overall. And Jordan Wilcox is in the room there. I think he realised what race he was in, and that he didn't need to himself be losing too much time trying to go. Oh, we see contact. That is, we've got Jordan Pianazzola involved. No, he's ahead of all that.
He's saved.
Yeah, that's happened behind him.
Someone.
Yeah, that was the 2 cars that were behind. I'm trying to look at the timing.
Sufong,
yeah, Jackson Sufong, maybe Dent or Uni involved there. We'll have a look here. We've got the replay coming up. Definitely Jackson Sufong. And I think that's David. You'd probably need a couple of different angles of that, but that was 2 cars. Yes, it was David Uni. Jackson Sufong, David Uni having a battle for position there. Look, we'll leave that one to race control. We didn't really get a good angle there to see what room each car had, but we probably don't need to there. Jordan Pianazzola, luckily he survived all that. I hope he didn't look in his mirror then, because he would have been looking at M0 and he would have been seeing one car head one direction, one head another, and all right on his back bumper. That was all happening. So he'll be thanking lucky stars he survived all that. Now, we know he didn't have a very good preparation, and he got into qualifying with only minutes to go after joining us in central commentary for the BMWs. But he's done it right. He's hitting about 6th or 7th in dev class there.
He did have.
And okay, I think we found more to this story.
Yes.
He was doing better than that, and I think we're going to see him rejoin, and then probably find himself in the middle of that battle that then comes up behind him, or maybe this happened after. I'm not sure.
That was actually lap 2. I did pick it up earlier, but I didn't find a good time to squeeze it in.
Jordan has done pretty well, because if I look now, he's sitting in 7th in dev class, which is in the top half of that grid. You've got a lot of those guys behind him. So considering he's had no preparation, I think barely one qualifying lap, and to be sitting in 7th in dev class, he's stuck it out. And to pick up the rest of the order, now we've got Ross Armour and Ryan Barber, battle for 15th and 16th, and that is for position. And then we've got Jamie Fleming and Snadden there on back, which are the next 2 positions in the dev class. So, we see Fleming just coming on the back of these 2. Now, he is running 4th in dev class. He has got quite a few elite guys, and McCronin in the middle between him and the next place car. So he's got a lot of work to do. And we are winding down the lap match here. We are down to, we've got 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in this race.
Yes,
so
we'll have to see.
We'll pick up James Scott and we'll see. I don't think he's going to get a white flag.
Around the hairpin, so he's got a minute to get back to the line for it to not be the white flag lap. I don't think he'll do it. I think next lap will be the white flag lap. But we'll wait and see.
And we're going to go to 20 laps by the look of it. As we look back now to Jamie Fleming. Now, again, this is awful for Jamie Fleming because he's not battling for position. Those 2 guys are in their own battle for position. But he has pace. As we see, the lights are coming on. The lights are ablaze. We definitely are heading into sunset here at Florida at Sebring International Raceway. And I think Jamie Fleming is doing a very good job here. I think he knows he's not battling those guys, but he seems like he's got pace and he wants to get going on these next couple of laps. And he is trying to just not disrupt these guys, but he's trying to just pick his way through them as he can. But then, inadvertently, he does find himself in the middle of it now. So, it's a bit of an awkward position. I think he'd be anticipating getting past Ryan Armour. As we see the white flag out now for James Scott as we enter the lap 19. So we're only going to get 19.
Only just, though.
Yeah, I've just been looking at the timing and it was mere seconds in it. But James Scott, he's got it all his own way. He's got nearly 8 seconds, 7.7 seconds over Will Buchanan. Back to Ryan Jones, Adam Hayne, Dylan Walker. Nothing has changed up front, but here is where everything looks like it is still up for grabs. Now, I don't believe these guys will have got the white flag yet. These guys...
no. When they pass the line, they'll get it.
Yep. So these guys are battling to the white flag. Now, again, it's... Jamie Fleming sitting in 4th spot. Now, like I said, I don't... he hasn't really got... he's got a big gap and a few cars between him and the podium spot. But he's had a really good, strong run, racing where he is, running with the guys he is. He's not doing anything out of the ordinary. As they greet the white flag, 1 lap to go. And it'll be interesting to see how they play these here. I mean, you did not want to see these two get into a tangle. It would not benefit either of them, and yeah, just a bit of an awkward position, but I'd suspect that as we look back now, we've got Hayden Watson involved in a battle.
This is
and
actually
that's,
for position, so
for position, and I believe they are teammates, are they? They could be team cars. I could be wrong, but no.
104
this is,
versus 116. I think that's how you say it. 116 works.
Yeah, so it's Jordan Pianazzola fighting there with Hayden Watson. And this, like you say, this is for position. This is for 6th and 7th in dev split. Jordan Pianazzola has done very well to get himself in this position. He's in the dev split standings. Considering we saw that the issues he had earlier, but he hasn't. He's not going to have it all his own way. Hayden Watson is going to make him work for every inch of track on this last lap, side by side. He's trying to hang there so he's got the inside for the next bit, but then he's going to be left hung out to dry, and he has to yield that position to Jordan. For now, they still have half a lap to go. The leaders have crossed the line. Nothing has changed up front. It's the status quo up there. We'll cross back to them shortly because we're watching this battle for position. Jordan Pianazzola and Hayden Watson on the last lap, and they're going to battle it out. This is going to be a duel into sunset curves at sunset at Florida. It's right on board here with Hayden Watson. He is going to hang it on the outside. He's going to go very deep, and he's going to send it. And we're going to see who gets the better action of the two. Jordan Piazzola's got the inside line. He's going to run very wide, and he is going to keep that position and celebrate Jordan Pianazzola. It may have been for 6th position in dev split and for 21st overall, but be proud of yourself. That was a very entertaining battle, and that's what it's all about, Max Mickey. When you're on track, it doesn't matter whether you're battling for the lead or battling for 19th position. If you can get 18th on that last lap, you are going to go for it, aren't you?
Yep, absolutely. It's called iRacing, not iHot lapping. So you want to be racing as much as you can, not just cruising around on your own.
And that was just great to see those two giving 10 tenths. Yes, very great battling, very great viewing. I agree there. I definitely enjoyed calling that one. Like I said, we might not have been calling for the lead there, but that was definitely a battle that was worth the price of admission alone. And those two, you know, it's good to see that. You can battle hard, you can race side by side, you can even rubber panels and do it fairly. As we see a replay there of James Scott just with one arm on the windscreen, sipping a Coke, just taking it easy, wrapping up yet another win without really having to raise a sweat. He's had it all his own way, James Scott. We haven't seen a lot of him. Pretty much it's because he's been out the front, not really under any kind of pressure or under attack, which is a credit to James Scott. It's been an absolute masterclass. We've seen him do it several weeks here now. It's gone in ebbs and flows, as in, I think it might have been the Watkins Glen round where we saw Will Buchanan get the pace on James Scott and get the win over James Scott. But since then, James Scott has come out seemingly with a point to prove and an admission to make. We know those two guys are on the same team, and they make it quite obvious to us that they are opposing sides of the garage when it comes to the GSRC commitments. They may team up when it comes to things like the Logitech Pro Series and things like that, but when it comes to this, same team, opposing sides of the garage, and we've seen them in past rounds before battle it right to the end. Yes, but definitely well done to those guys. Like I said, James Scott's masterclass driving didn't get a lot of airtime, but we had great battling all the way through the field all night, and it was definitely great viewing. As we look at a few replays now before we'll go to the final standings and the final results for each of the splits. So this is a look back at the start. I think Matt Schmidtke's just taking us through some replays.
Yeah.
And, oh, that's right. There was a lot of action at the back at the start. That was so long ago now. I'd forgotten about that. But we saw it all happening in the background. That was 19, 20 laps to go now. But we're going to have a look at them. They're all... And there was some heavy contact. And that is the worst feeling when you're in the middle of the road and you are just... You can do nothing but sit there and wait for all the traffic to pass by you either side. As we have a few guys starting to join us here in the Discord server. Matt here, are we able to bring up some? We'll just go through the results. Before we get into the interviews, we know what it was up front. We saw James Scott 8 seconds in the end from Will Buchanan, from Ryan Jones, Adam Hayne, Dylan Walker rounding out the top 5, Sean Rigby, Alex Zekas, and Ryan Nelson rounding out the top 8. Before we get to the dev split, guys, we've got Jordan Wilcox taking out the dev split from Adam Maverick, and Chase McMillan third in dev split. Jamie Fleming, who we were following there at the end in 4th, followed by Daniel Sneddon. Jordan Pianazzola got 6th over Hayden Watson, followed by Jack Dent, David Uni, Richard King, Jackson Surfong, who certainly seemed to be in battle for most of that race as well, like a lot of drivers were, followed by Jake Partridge, Max Carroll, Aaron Bryan, Pete Matson, Jeff Adams, and we've got Callum Maxwell and Jason Kyman, which I do not believe finished the race. And that will round that out.
Yep, that's it. I don't believe Jason started the race, but yes.
No, and it looked like Callum called it a night early there. So who have we got joining us first in the Discord there, please, Matty?
Let's go to our overall winner, James Scott, first.
Yeah, good evening, James Scott. Now, must be honest, we didn't see a lot of you because it must have been a rather uneventful race. You out front, you got the gap early and just was never really under any pressure, and you had all your own way. We did think maybe there was a chance. We noticed Will close the gap by a few seconds after the pit stop cycle, but that didn't seem to bother you either, and you just set sail off into the distance.
Yeah, mate. It was a decent night. Grid and go, so yeah, no, it was not too bad. Yeah, it took a bit more fuel on the close to going an additional lap, but didn't need it in the end, but yeah.
I was going to ask how close it was, because we did notice it was going to be close. We didn't quite get the exact numbers, so you said you took an extra lap of fuel, so it must have been pretty close.
Yeah, I think it was about 8 seconds, I think, between, finishing on that lap or going an additional one, but yeah, no, it was, yeah, I was covered either way, so.
Sorry if I disappeared. My computer sort of just did a freeze and a reset, but I am back now. It all dropped out for half a second, but I am back. Yeah, we weren't sure on the fuel numbers there, James. Whether it was fuel or tyres or upcoming traffic that brought you to pit lane. Like, what was your thinking around your strategy there?
Just go an extra lap compared to Will. That was it.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, just a bit of extra fuel at the pit stop. But yeah, like I don't know, it sort of worked out alright. There was a few lap cars ahead that I was coming up on, and a lap later than Will, so it all sort of worked out alright.
So it must be good when you've got that buffer and you've got that gap, and you like, and like you say, well, I've got enough of a margin, I can just chuck a little bit more fuel in just to be on the extra safe side.
Yeah, I guess you don't always have that luxury, but yeah, luckily it worked out alright tonight. So yeah, but if I had to run it close, then would have done that as well.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of those battles between you and Will that are neck and neck and going down the wire and basically being decided by those pit stop, fuel stops situations as well. So it was good to have it all your own way. Anyone you want to thank while we've got you?
Yeah, all the guys at RER. It's yeah, good to have a partnership with them for these types of series. Their sponsors, Shield Coat, AITX, Sudspeed, Kibby. Sure I've forgotten some, but that's the main ones. And Chiefs as well, with Westfield, Logitech G, and Aussie Broadband. Man, yes, yeah, but it's great to represent those major brands. So yeah, thanks to you guys for the broadcast, race control, and all the people behind the scenes that make the series what it is.
We had a look to next round. We find ourselves at the Adelaide Street Circuit for a sprint race format next week. Are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, sure to be alright. It's good to race at some Aussie tracks. Decent fun. Probably won't have too much time to practice, but yeah, done plenty of laps there, so it should be fun.
Yeah, definitely look forward to a race around Adelaide. Well, thank you, Will. Thank you for joining us, and absolute masterclass of a drive tonight. As who are we moving to next, Matt Schmidtke?
Why don't we go with our Dev Class winner, Jaden Wilcox?
Good evening, Jaden Wilcox. Now, we followed you for a bit there because you didn't exactly have it all your own way. For just, especially for the first half of the race, you definitely under a lot of threat for the lead of the Dev Class, but it seems to have played itself out after the pit stop strategy. So just talk us through how it was from your perspective.
Yeah, g'day guys. It's more of a jump in and drive. I just come out of Supercar's NZ Porsche Cup and just saw I had enough time, so I thought I'd jump in here. But yeah, the starter wasn't too bad. Just had to keep the lead off the start, and then sort of just work my way through the elites and see where I'd fit up, and then yeah, just ended up sitting behind Ryan Nielsen. He had enough pace for me, so it was just follow him through. Got a bit hairy in some stages. Managed to somehow continue a 0x through the entire race. So it wasn't too bad, but yeah, just kind of just sat behind Ryan and just followed exactly what he did. So saving grace for tonight, really.
Yeah, you definitely seem to be in a group there of guys. I mean, technically weren't even racing. They were the elite guys, so you certainly had some really good pace there. And sometimes it is good if you just find someone that's your pace and you can tuck in behind them and just settle into a rhythm. Because you had Adam Maverick back there, and he's never easy to keep behind you. So were you just keeping an eye on that gap behind you the whole way and just managing your stuff, understanding you didn't really need to battle the guy ahead?
Yeah. Once I sort of worked out that Ryan was the same pace, I just stuck with him. And then as we caught up to the two group elites, it was like, yeah, put some elites between me and the guy behind me just to really seal the deal. So just all we did. Just stayed right behind Ryan. Whatever Ryan did, I just mimicked him 1 for 1.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. We did pick up that battle on the broadcast, and you found yourself in a very awkward position in a battle with all the elite guys, and you found yourself right in the middle of it. But you all handled it and managed it very well. So, like I said, it wasn't without its challenges. It wasn't without its few sort of awkward, hairy moments. But for someone that's just jumped in at the last minute, arrived and drive, you've done very well. Anyone you want to thank while we've got you?
Yeah, firstly, all the boys from SCSR, they put a lot of time and effort into doing all this, and we've all just sort of band together to start racing together. So, yeah, all the lads over there, they're all good sport. It's always good racing with them. And then, yeah, everyone here as well. It's good to chat with you guys, and obviously you guys put the broadcast on, which does everyone favours, and all the sponsors. So good on you guys.
Thank you, and thank you guys for putting on the racing product that we both get to sit here and watch and enjoy. I've certainly enjoyed watching these races from an analytical point of view. But yeah, both Mazzy and I, we're off the bench tonight as the Andrew and Zach are in high demand. But yeah, we've. I can't speak highly enough of the Gentlemen Sim Racing Club for the product that they've put on over the years, the broadcast. So it's just good to keep it all going for everyone, you know. And the racing tonight, all throughout the field, it didn't matter whether it was a battle for first position or 21st position. It was fantastic racing with all the guys. And yeah, definitely enjoyed it from this perspective.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to race for you guys. Yeah, definitely enjoyed coming back to race with you guys. Had a bit of a break for a while, but yeah, glad to be back and always love these people.
Yep, glad to hear it. So thank you very much for joining us. And I'm sorry, Matt, I can't see the list of names of who we've got waiting there for us. I'm getting you to bring them in for me.
That's alright. Let's go Will Buchanan, P2 in Elite Split.
Will Buchanan, a very solid drive for second position. Seemed to be a tough race. Your teammate started from pole, and we saw you obviously in the early laps. You don't want to let him get away, and you want to try and hang with him. But once those opening laps played out, just talk us through your strategy from there on in, trying to close the gap. We did see you pit one lap earlier, and you closed the gap by at least 2 or 3 seconds. Did that give you a little bit of a sniff that maybe you might be able to reel him in?
I basically just wanted to try and get back into James's draft, basically. So just took a bit less fuel, and I had a ripper out lap. But it still wasn't close enough, and I had 2 cars in between us, so that didn't help at all on older tyres. So they slowed me up a bit. But yeah, it was just basically just trying to get back into that draft was my only hope to try and stay with them.
Yeah, we did see that when the pit stop cycle came out. I mean, not that James needs any luck to go his way, but we did notice he came out just ahead of those 2 cars that hadn't pitted, and you slotted in just behind them. So sometimes you just can't help the way some of those things play out. So it's just a case of just trying to use a bit less fuel and stop for less time, and you nearly got it done. I reckon it had to be close to 3 seconds you reeled him in through the in and out lap pit cycle.
Yeah, it was close. Thankfully, he wasn't 8 seconds faster, or I would have been definitely out of fuel before the end of the race. So I was thankful he took a bit extra in the pit stop. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was certainly close, but yeah, there wasn't much you could do there, but just consolidate your position because you, like I said, it can probably get a bit boring there when you've got 6 seconds for the guy ahead and you've got 10 seconds to Ryan Jones behind you, and you just settle in. So, anyone you want to thank while you've got the airwaves?
I think James rattled them off, but yeah, shout out to all the RER boys, and to our sponsors AITX, Shieldcoat, Sudspeed, Kibby, Slady's Glossworks, and IR Sidekick, all the work they do behind the scenes. Our team appreciates so much and couldn't do it without it.
Well, thank you very much, Will, and good luck to you guys and your team going forward. I know you guys have got some bigger things as well as the GSRC coming up on the horizon. So good luck to you guys. We'll all be keeping an eye out to see how you guys go.
Too easy, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Will. And who we got next? I believe we've got Daniel Snadden there, haven't we?
No, Ryan Jones, last but not least. He's the last one here.
Ryan Jones. Good evening, Ryan. Now, it must be good to get a good, strong result and finish on the podium last night, because we saw you last week and you worked very hard to get yourself into podium position, and it all went very pear-shaped. None of it of your own wrongdoing. So it must be good to come out tonight and have that pace and consolidate a podium position.
Yeah, well, I was in Perth last week. Last night, I don't want to ever talk about it again. Tonight was good. I was a bit surprised to get up there to P3 in Quali, because I jumped in with about 15 minutes left of Quali. I got three fast laps in. Haven't driven the track in this car since whenever Pro Series went there, and I refuse to do zero practice because this might be my least favourite track in the entire world. It is a shithole and it should be bombed. But aside from that, it was a decent race. Sort of a bit lonely at times. I threw it off the road at one point and let Hainsey get through, which is actually good because it meant I got to race someone. But yeah, good result.
Yeah, it is one of those tracks that's either loved or loathed, and I was very surprised to see, I think we had a 33 or 34 car count on the grid tonight. So I think some of the secret likers of Sebring may have come out tonight, but like you, there doesn't seem to be many of them that I'm aware of. It's definitely a very challenging track, and I think it was the Chicago race I was thinking of, so it might have been a couple of weeks ago. So
yep.
Yeah, you might be getting my weeks mixed up there, but yeah, you've done very well. I mean, obviously James and Will were in a league of their own, so I think we did see you in the bar in a battle there for a few laps. I can't pick up who that driver is who you're battling, but Haynes, yep, Haynes definitely, that's right. Haynes definitely a hard one to beat, and we saw you in battle with Dylan Walker as well, just after pit stops, and that was very entertaining. Two very good drivers throwing everything at it, and you come out ahead of that one and consolidated third position from there. So you certainly had to battle for your final podium position.
Yeah, for sure. After I made that mistake to drop behind Hay, and I just sort of sat behind him and kept saving fuel and shorting up my pit stop. I think in the end I saved too much fuel because I was still limited by the weight for tyres. So that was annoying.
Oh, wow, yep.
But I did save 4 seconds in the lane compared to Hayne, which is good. Or about then, I had one lap undercut. Walker pitted 3 or 4 laps before me, and I come out right on his tail, and I think the smarter play for him would have been to tuck in after I went down the inside and lose minimal time. But he fought me, which is frustrating. Yeah. Absolutely his prerogative, so had to muster my way through there, and fortunately he lifted at the last corner, which was good. So we sorted ourselves out and then pressed on and just tried to build a gap and not throw it off the road at the end of the race, which I've been making a habit of lately, so glad to check that one off the box.
Yeah, those things can be frustrating, but then you realise that's the point. They're entitled to do it, and even if it might be your best, sometimes when the virtual helmet's on and you're in the heat of battles, it all goes out the window, doesn't it? Sometimes, so you just want to fight and battle the person you're with. So, but yeah, like sometimes, like you say, you've just got to look at the situation, and like you say, you look like you're tucked in behind Adam and save some fuel. And look, I tell you what, if they finished the fuel before they had done your tyres, that might be a sign to say you have done extremely well with the fuel saving. So well done. Anyone you would like to thank?
Yeah, firstly, just big shout out to Will and James, because I know when I load into a GSRC Supercar race, there is no chance in hell I'm going to win. So it takes all the pressure off, so I'm going to have more fun. So love that. You've always put on the broadcast, and all our sponsors at DPL, High Performance Media, staff, Plan for Transport, DPR Docs, GG. Yeah, cheers, boys.
Yeah, no worries, Ryan. Wait, I'll just ask you one more question before we let you go, because you've raised another thing. When it comes to joining these sessions and you see two guys like Will Buchanan and James Scott on the grid, is it good to have guys like that, like a benchmark to chase, to to race with, or rather than hypothetically we take those two guys out and you're racing to a race win? Is it better having those two guys there and a benchmark you're always trying to chase down and learn from?
Yeah, it's good. I don't want to outright say they're faster than me, but they definitely are. I mean, we're all supposed to be in the Pro Series, but I'm last in the points. Yeah, it's good. I mean, the more fast guys in the series, the better, right? Because you just have more and more battles at the front. Often, the big battle packs seem to be a little bit further down the field, and that's because there's just a bigger spread at the top of the order. So, I mean, the more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, winning's great, winning's fun, but to be honest, we all rock up to have fun battles, right? So, hot lapping by itself for 40 minutes, not as fun. Battling with blokes that are faster than you and trying to hold them up and be a nuisance, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what we saw tonight. Battles, like it didn't matter whether it was a battle for third position or a battle for 23rd position. It was a battle for position that no one wanted to give up, and it makes a great viewing for our perspective. So, thank you for that, Ryan. Thank you for joining us tonight. And again, good luck. I know you're involved in other things like the the Porsches and the Pro Series. So good luck with everything going forward. No worries. Thank you there, Ryan. And I don't know if we've got some championship points or whether Adam might be having an early start and we might get them in the morning.
Yes, Adam, would have had an early start, so I think he's off to bed already.
So we can't bring them to you, but we might leave a note that we'll look over them tomorrow night in the broadcast. So on that, we might call that a night. If we give our sponsors some airtime, we'll thank our sponsors that support us week in, week out, season in, season out. Disruptive Labs for their support over the seasons. Waste Options, we've got John Wright, I remembered his name this week at Waste Options, been a long time supporter. Trophi.AI, who support our Supercar series, have for a long time. And merchstore.com. All members, be sure to check out the merch store there at the address on the screen. Get yourself the latest gear. I believe the bingo card has recently made a new appearance, and might be an updated edit to that one in the coming weeks, if the talkings are correct. So thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you, Matt Schmitke, for pushing the buttons. I am Dale Sharp. And until next time, good evening.
No worries, thank you Dale, and I will be here tomorrow night for the V's, and Andrew should be here for the Porsche Cup, and Zach will be back on deck, so good night everyone.